It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time around, I talk with Irv. Well, his friends call him Irv, and I guess I consider him a friend. He is Newton's Mayor Randy Ervin. We go back to our high school days. We were in high school drama together. I was a senior, he was a sophomore, and maybe I shouldn't be talking about him as a friend because I'm supposed to be non-partial when I do these podcasts, but I've known him for a long, long time. In fact, we even worked at the same radio station together, KJJY, back in the day. But he is our mayor, and I did a podcast with him before he was even elected mayor. He ran unopposed. He is a great guy, and I know he's doing his best for the city of Newton. And whenever I chat with him, he always makes the news in one way or another. And you'll find this podcast to be very interesting because he talks about a lot of different things. To me, one of the most news-making things was he tells us about what is going on with the vacant Perkins restaurant. And you'll find that enlightening too when you listen to the podcast. But he also talks about how the Iowa Legislature has dealt with property taxes and now how the city of Newton will be dealing with it too. He talks about Lucy's Pet Pantry and the Neuter Is Cuter program and how he feels about that. As a matter of fact, in the city council meeting on Monday night, the city voted to support the Neuter Is Cuter program, and you'll find out about that also. He talks about the playground and how the city is working toward the project, or considering anyway, the project of the all-inclusive playground, and how several members of the city and city council made a road trip to Ames to try to look at their all-inclusive playground too. He talks about a wide variety of different things, and I appreciate his openness and willingness to talk about a wide variety of different topics whenever I get together with our mayor. He's a great guy, and he also, in the video, talks about coaching, and he'll be coaching again, it looks like, this fall season for the Newton High School football team. He's done it for a number of seasons, and he'll do it again this year. So listen up and enjoy the podcast, and don't forget to check out the video. It's on outandaboutwithjamiegrout.com and also on our YouTube channel. And I also want to give mad props and kudos to my assistant, Little Red, Lynette Neubauer-Baker. I couldn't do this without her. She created my logo, she created my YouTube channel and my website. So she does a great job, and I could not do this without her. And I also couldn't do it without my sponsors, including Park Center and Wesley Life Park Center. They have a new office in downtown Newton, Wesley Life at Home, which is just north of the Red Pride Cafe. Check them out. If you're looking to get home health care, check out Wesley Life at Home. And check out Park Center. You should pursue your joy at Park Center because they offer living options across the continuum. Park Center provides vital, enriching environments for everyone, a community for healthy living focused on holistic health and well-being. Their programming enhances emotional, intellectual, and spiritual wellness and enables you to live a life that's healthier in every way. Park Center is at home in Newton, with many residents and team members having lived their lives. To learn more about Park Center's different levels of living and to find out the lifestyle that's right for you, contact Lisa Zylstra at 641-791-5000. That's 641-791-5000 at Park Center. And my sister, I mentioned this many times before, but she lived the last few years of her life at Park Center, and I'm glad that she lived there. She got great treatment there, and they do a fantastic job at Wesley Life Park Center. And she had, great care at Park Center with, especially in hospice care. Dr. Edwards did a great job, and the gang at hospice just took great care of her in the last days of her life. So if you're looking for a place to live, and as the commercial says, through the continuum, why, by golly, Park Center is the place to go. And a sponsor that has been with me ever since the get-go is Newton Clinic. I want to encourage you to check out Newton Clinic. Preventative care means more than just a yearly checkup. It's how we catch small issues before they become big problems. From screenings to vaccines to wellness visits, visits, Newton Clinic is here to keep you and your family feeling your best. Schedule your preventative care appointment today. Your future self will thank you. And don't forget their newest provider, Kinsey Heiser. They're excited to introduce her to the community. She got on board there May of last year, so she's been there for just a year. And as far as I know, she's still taking new patients with Kinsey Heiser at Newton Clinic. Another fine sponsor, Advantage Credit Union.
Graduation. The perfect time for pomp and circumstance to march you away from the place that's holding you back. Advantage Credit Union has a better curriculum of options and great rates with local service. Our checking accounts offer no minimum balances and no monthly service fees. So if your current place isn't making the grade, enter the transfer portal and switch to Advantage Credit Union. Open your account with just a $25 deposit in downtown Newton or online at acuiowa.org.
Member NCUA.
It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and it's Monday with the mayor. Here he is. Randy Ervin, his honor. His friends call him Irv. Can I call you Irv?
Absolutely.
Okay, we go back to high school days, but I'm still not going to go easy on you, Irv.
Good.
Have a lot of questions for you today. First question I have for you is, before they wrapped up, the state legislature tackled the issue of property taxes, and we talked a little bit about that the last time we got together. What is your take as the mayor on what the state legislature did with property taxes? How do you feel about the whole thing?
Well, we're actually pretty fortunate because Matt Muckler and our finance folks pretty much have all the boxes already checked. So it's not going to impact us a lot for the next couple of years. In year 3, it starts catching up with itself, so we may have to look at some things then. But some of the things that we've read in the past proposal is stuff we're already doing. So I'm pretty confident we're doing okay with that. We're going to have to look at spending, but we knew that going in, and I think the city council has really done a nice job of questioning some of the purchases and making sure that it's a need and not just a want. So I applaud the city council for that. And like I said, Matt and the finance group, we have Candace now took over for Lisa Frazier. She's got big shoes to fill. Lisa was amazing.
Yeah, it's a tough one because, as we discussed before, everybody wants their streets taken care of and their sewer and, a fire and police and everything. And you don't want to have to make cuts. It's a difficult call.
No, and the big answer that we've gotten is a lot of people talking to us about the library. Because if you remember when we talked last time, I said if we do not do a franchise fee, and at this point it's not on the table, if we don't do a franchise fee, every service we offer is going to be looked at in the next 3 years, including the library, the golf course, the pool, the airport. Everything that we have as an asset at the city has to be looked at. And I've probably gotten the most calls and the most conversations with people that says, please don't touch our library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is used a lot. In fact, we're using your office, but the last couple of times we did a podcast, it was at the library, and it's used a lot. So what is your feeling about not doing anything about the franchise fee, Randy?
I think at this point, we've got to look internally first, make sure that we cut all the corners we can cut. Franchise fee might be not a choice in 3 years. It may have to happen. And we're looking at those numbers. Candace is putting that together now, and Matt's looking at the different options that we have. But we're still waiting on some clarifications from the State House. I know they rushed and finished that bill quickly before they departed. So we're waiting really to see the details on it.
Okay, I want to ask you, too, something that's near and dear to my heart, and this is something that I just did a podcast on, and that is the Neuter Is Cuter program. And I know Terry McKinney spoke to you folks about supporting that. I live in the northwestern side of Newton, and your friend and mine, Mark Hallam, I believe, represents that area. And a few years ago, we had a stray cat stray into our backyard and stray into our hearts. She was starving. We gave her some food. We tried to find a home for her. Nobody wanted her, so we adopted her. She was scared and whatnot. And we've had a lot of strays come into our yard. And I know that They're asking for money from the city council, and you don't get a vote, but you do decide what's on the agenda. Do you have any feelings one way or the other about that?
This is one of those things that I think a lot of cities have, and they just choose not to look at it or not to direct it. We're pretty blessed as a city to have somebody like Lucy's Pet Pantry and specifically Terry that will come and talk to us, and they're trying to put a program together. I think it's wonderful. And by the way, I believe she said the northwest part of town was our most infected with cats or strays. So it's one of those things that if we don't address it, and thankfully with Lucy's Pet Pantry, we can do that, we can at least curb that problem.
All right. Now, when we've talked before, you have said that we're on the precipice of some big things happening in Newton. Do you have any news for us, Randy?
We're getting extremely close. We're in late May. You're within 45 days. I'll give you that, of some pretty good announcements and some excitement. I don't want to steal their thunder, but you'll see some things mid-July, early to mid-July. You're going to see some great announcements.
Okay, looking forward to that. Anything on the softball complex?
No, they're still plugging away. They've partnered with some solar companies. Actually, the owner of Van Wall Equipment has been working with them on getting some tax credits for the solar part of it. If that all comes together, that could be the last piece, and they can start digging dirt hopefully this summer. But we've said that for 7 years now, so we have to be very patient, and they have to do their due diligence.
How about the old Newton Motor Inn lot? Anything new on that?
I personally took 2 different developers last week out there in my truck, parked in the middle of it, and said this can be a great place to build housing, whether it's row housing, apartment complex, or even individual houses. So far, we've got people interested, but nobody is actually. In fact, I have another meeting Thursday with another developer, and we show them other places in town as well. There's the old gasification site, which is very close to Newton Village. We show them what we've got going on at Arbor Estates. We show them the hatchery site. We've got some great land that we could make a company a pretty good deal on to get some growth and get some housing coming to Newton.
Can you say anything about the old Perkins restaurant and anybody moving in there?
I believe it has been purchased. I believe the closing date's coming up fairly shortly, and I do know that it's a restaurant.
Okay, but you don't know the name of the restaurant or can't say the name of the restaurant?
Can't say at this point. It is not. I don't believe it's a chain. I'll help you with that. I think it's a person that's buying it and maintaining its restaurant authority. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Like an independent
restaurant. Yes.
Well, how about that? Yep. Now, I have to go back to our school days. I recently saw a picture of your friend and mine, Mark Lambert, going down a slide in Ames. And you and City Councilman Mark Hallam apparently did a road trip along with some other people to Ames. Tell us about that.
We had a great opportunity to go to Ames and meet, like you said, a fellow classmate, Mark Lambert, who is the city attorney of Ames. Mark set up an appointment with our Park and Rec people. We took Jamie and we took Nick. We took Mark Hallam, and we also took Joel Mills. And went up and visited with their park board staff. The park originally was called Ines Park. It's been a park in Ames for a lot of years. What they did is they went in and they built an inclusive playground. On the way up, I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be a few slides, maybe some swings, and this is really cool. I was blown away by this little park. It's absolutely beautiful. It was so fun to watch kids with challenges playing right next to kids without challenges, and you wouldn't know there was a challenge. I mean, it's a beautiful park, laid out wonderfully. They used the topography of the land to actually build into some of the challenges on whether it's climbing or rock sliding. And the slide that you talked about with Mark Lambert, he rolled down it in his suit for us, which we applauded. But it's called a roller slide. And it's very similar to the rollers you might see in a large warehouse. And so it's designed so that you can put somebody in a wheelchair on it, let them roll down, catch them, and then it has a tray next to them that you can sit the person while you go up and get their wheelchair. There was a teeter-totter that somebody with challenges could use. They had a beautiful play set that you could roll up onto or climb up onto, depending on your challenge. And it was just beautiful. So needless to say, I came back with a different understanding of what an inclusive playground is. It is something that I have written on a napkin. I've started sharing that napkin with a lot of people in town. I'm hoping that becomes a reality in the next couple of years.
Well, that is great. And, I always put a bug in your ear and tell you to talk to Aaron Chambers, if you haven't already, about a grant opportunity with Variety, the children's charity, because I know that they helped get an inclusive playground on the east side of Des Moines at the fairgrounds. I know that not only Ames has one, Grinnell has one now, Pella has one. By golly, Newton should have one too.
Absolutely.
Okay. I know that you don't get a vote on the city council, but you are in charge of the agenda, and there's a city council meeting tonight. Off the top of your head, do you know what the agenda is for this evening, Randy?
We've got some just taking care of business stuff tonight, budget stuff that we're just passing to get through the budget stuff. But other than that, we have a couple street projects we're working on, and we hope to get those going. In fact, I just saw one on 8th Avenue being completed on Saturday. And then obviously the catch and release that we talked about with Lucy's Pet Pantry. There's a couple other readings on some sidewalk stuff that we are trying to get completed as well. And then one of the great news that we get to celebrate is the Aurora Heights tennis courts is being signed off, I believe, tonight at the city council. And what a beautiful tennis courts. We're going to be able to host, along with the high school, we're going to be able to host some state qualifiers and some very good tennis meets on the high school level. And one of the last things that we did, and actually the YMCA, Eric Zier and George Sorensen reached out to us, asked if we could put some pickleball markings on a couple of the tennis courts, because I think they also are looking at hosting some statewide tournaments. And that all fits in with our plan of working on tourism to Newton. If we can bring people like that for pickleball or tennis courts, they eat at our restaurants, they stop at our hotels. It's really good for tourism to have that up and running.
All about economic development. And I want to give mad props to Joe and the streets department. He gave a presentation a couple weeks ago at Newton Rotary, and they do a fantastic job.
Yeah, Joe's really come into his own since taking over that role, and he's constantly saying, okay, if we could just squeeze out X amount of dollars, we could do one more street project. And I think we've done more street projects in the last 3 years than we probably have the last 20 years.
So when we talked a while back, I know that you wanted me to do a podcast with Melissa Dalton about what's going on out by TPI and the trains and whatnot out there. And she deserves a lot of credit. And I did do a podcast with her about that. Any new news to report on what's going on out there, Randy?
It has been state certified, which was the goal all along. That, I think, is one of the exciting things you're going to hear about in July, along with a couple other announcements out there in July. But we continue, Frank Liebel and the city council and the county supervisors are getting all kinds of interest in RFPs. And I can't get into a lot of those because I have to sign a non-disclosure. But I really believe once the dirt starts digging for the first company, you're going to see more. I would anticipate a couple hundred new jobs in the next year.
So it's all coming in July.
You're going to hear a lot in July.
Okay, what do you say? Let's make an appointment to get together then.
Well, let's get some things blown up on the 4th of July first, and then we'll get together.
Okay, and then, we have alumni weekend coming up then, Newton Fest and whatnot. And so, you and I are both True Blue Cardinals. And so, we have a lot of reasons to get together at that time. So we'll do that, get caught up, and we'll find out all the big news at that time.
I think we're going to have a great summer in Newton, Iowa.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jamie. It's always a pleasure.
Mondays with the mayor. His friends call him Irv. Randy Ervin, our esteemed mayor of Newton, Iowa, 50208. Thanks for joining us. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Other fine sponsors include Lynette Baker, Halo Branded Solutions, Westside Java Coffee Bar, Made Right Sandwich Shop in downtown Newton, and Jersey Freeze in Monroe. Until next time, grrr. Grout is out. See ya.